there, my friend. You are watching or listening to the Erin Chase Show, where we chat all things intentional living and how to find that ever elusive, it's super elusive, especially these days, balance in our busy and overwhelming lives. I'm your host, Erin Chase, and I want to welcome you to another episode of the not Dinner Made Easy Show. Oh my gosh, Erin Chase Show. I'm fast forwarding in my week here. A quick programming note before we jump into creating time margin in your life ahead of the holidays. I have some ideas about that I want to share with you. And a quick programming note though, the Erin Chase Show is shifting. There is a really cool thing that is happening that I will tell you about very soon, but we're still going to be live on Tuesdays at 3. We're actually going to be live twice on Tuesdays starting in November. So this is actually going to be the last Erin Chase Show in this format where it's kind of me sharing ideas and inspiration and things like that. All of the previous episodes of the Erin Chase Show will live here on the $5 Dinners Facebook page, on our YouTube channel, as well as on the podcast player. I have yet to decide how we are going to handle the new version of the show, because the new version of the show is much more visual than this chatty version of the show does really well on a podcast player. So I'm not sure what we're going to do yet with the podcast player if you've been tuning in there. So TBD, I'll probably just record a short announcement about how we're going to handle that and just release that to the podcast players. But for now, we're going to talk about time margin. So margin, I think that's something, at least for me, that I think about in terms of money. So where there's like margin in your finances is where you have flexibility, where you have freedom, where you have, you can use this money for savings or for investing or for a college account or a retirement account or whatever, or in business, like profit margin, right? I think of margin for the most part in terms of money, but essentially time is money and money is time. So we can apply the margin concept to time as well. And in March of 2020, we were all given a whole lot of time margin, not by our choice. We were at least I was, and probably you were as well, going from having zero time margin in your life to then having a lot of time margin in your life, meaning you had all this time in hands. What are we supposed to do? We're stuck at home. We are limited in activities. Our job shut down, like all the things that happened. So we had all this time margin in our lives and we did not know what to do with ourselves. So we went on to Puzzle Fanatics and we bought all the bicycles that exist in the world. And we needed to entertain ourselves, in the confines of our home. But that, at least for me here in Texas, is not the case anymore. We are back to what I would consider almost normal life. So I don't have any time margin left. I should say I'm doing my best to protect the time margin that I have and make sure to have that balance, because as we go back into life, this is the opportunity that we have to not overschedule, to be a little bit more particular and picky about what we choose to add back into our lives. So time margin as we go into the holidays. So creating space in your calendar is creating time margin. That's essentially what I mean by that. And when we come into the holiday season, Christmas cards, addressing them, ordering them. I know I've ordered, actually haven't done physical Christmas cards in a couple of years, and we are going to do them this year. And because I think everyone's going to be shocked that my older boys are taller than me now, and everyone needs to lament with me about that. No, I'm just kidding. So, but there's all these things, decorating and wrapping presents and getting cards out and making, I like to do homemade teacher gifts here and there. Or getting that mixed into everything else. Baking, oh my word. There's so many things that go on during the holidays. So I want to help create a little time margin for you. And I think that the key is being a step ahead and having yourself kind of being a step ahead of the game. So if you haven't done your Christmas card photo yet, go this weekend. We actually did ours 2 weekends ago. And I'm so glad to have at least the picture part done. Now I can fret about having to spend forever on the photo app websites trying to figure out how many of their options, there's so many options, like that's going to be overwhelming and take forever to figure out the best card for our physical Christmas card that we're going to do this year. So all these things, these holiday tasks add up, and I think it's important to be a step ahead. So anything that you can do now to help yourself later. That's the name. That's the underlying message in so much of what I've shared here on the Erin Chase Show is being one step ahead. Just doing something that your future self will thank you for. I think that it's so important to do that for ourselves. When we're moving 1,000,000 miles a minute and we get to that minute 13 days from now and we're like, oh, I already did that. Yay me. Like 13 days from now, you is going to thank you for doing this now. And so anything that is, it especially right now, you hear all this buzz about like shelves being empty, holiday shopping. I actually was at the store the other day, and there are these two sweet gals. They're done with their Christmas shopping, I would assume, based on the carts that I saw. They each had this 2 carts, each one pushing 1 cart, just piled high, like a tower of, y'all say hi to Daisy, she's right here, a tower of holiday gifts. And so they're done. So if you can do your holiday shopping now, I know there's a lot of deals to come. I've actually, Black Friday kind of time frame, but it could be too late for some of the things that might be on your list. And I've actually seen a couple of retailers already doing like holiday Black Friday style sales in the last week or so because of all this mess. So if you can get a jump on your shopping, maybe you're the type of shopper though that you've been shopping all along and you've got your secret stash in your house and you can then just wrap it all up when you can. Okay, so all of that to say, one thing that you can do, and you probably know what I'm going to say because I've been talking about it all week, but one thing you can do is get dinner prepped now to cook later. And what does that look like? That looks like a freezer to slow cooker meal. I actually did a demo of how to take one of these meals from the freezer and get it into the slow cooker on last week's Dinner Made Easy show. And on this coming Dinner Made Easy show, which is going to be on Friday this week, I'll show you the step-by-step of getting the 6 meals prepped and into the freezer. So if you want help with that, if you want to get 6 meals made and into the freezer in what should be about 30 minutes, if you've never done it before, you might want to budget a little bit longer than that. But 30 minutes to make 6 meals that are going to essentially cook themselves in the next couple weeks when you need them during the holiday frenzy, you want to be a part of this. I have my Deck the Freezer party is happening now. The RSVPs are rolling in, you guys. We like completely blew away the postman yesterday. With all the Deck the Freezer party pack orders. You do not have to order a party pack, but I highly recommend it. You can RSVP for free if you type the word deck. I know this is mirrored, but if you just put the word deck into the comments, I'll tell you how to get your hands on this PDF. This is a PDF that I will email you for free, and then you can, of course, print it out. There is an option to order the party pack if you want me to print it out with the sticker labels that go. There's 6 sticker labels that go with these 3 recipes that make 6 meals. You can do this assembly in about 30 minutes. So if you want to get these 6 freezer to slow cooker meals, let me see if I can get the recipes real close for you, into the freezer ahead of the holiday frenzy, type the word deck. Daisy's excited about this, aren't you, Daisy? Type the word deck into the comments. Slow cooker chicken tortilla soup, creamy ranch chicken, which is a homemade like ranch cream of mushroom soup sort of base sauce. You can of course use a can if you'd like. Also, balsamic and brown sugar pulled pork is delicious. The tang of the balsamic plus the sweet of the brown sugar, it seriously is magical. So these are the recipes that we're making in this year's Deck the Freezer party. Again, you can RSVP for free, or I will mail you if you choose to order the party pack. So this is how you get ahead of the holiday frenzy with dinner, specifically dinner. Each one of these recipes is a freezer to slow cooker meal. Daisy's super excited, friends. Each one of these is a freezer to slow cooker meal, which means that you will, be able to just take them from the freezer, frozen, directly into I showed you how to do that on last week's Dinner Made Easy show. And of course, I'm gonna have a live prep happening this Friday afternoon, probably around 2 or 3 o'clock Central. I'm having to do this on Friday because I have a conflict on Thursday when I normally do my Dinner Made Easy show, and it's gonna be a little bit longer than normal because I wanna show you how to get all 6 meals prepped and for the freezer. So you don't wanna miss that this coming Friday afternoon. So that's what I wanted to share with you this week on the Erin Chase Show, is creating time margin. Just thinking about what that is. Like, what can you do now? Before you go start the next episode of whatever show it is that you're wanting to watch, guilty, go ahead, and unless it's Ted Lasso, in that case, go ahead and watch. Anyways, I know it's me or Dawn, I'm sorry. That's because I'm shooting on my phone. We will be starting a new production setup in November, so we won't have this mirrored situation anymore, I don't think. So anyways, you can just type the word deck, D-E-C-K. We're gonna deck the freezer before we deck the halls. That's the whole idea here, is getting these 3 recipes doubled to make a total of 6 meals for the freezer that are all easy to cook in your slow cooker. This is kind of a mindless dinner. I'm gonna teach you how this mindless dinner works so that you have these options when you don't wanna make dinner, when you need to be addressing Christmas cards or whatever it is you need to be doing there. So check it out when you have a minute. I have the link here on the video as well. I wrap up every Erin Chase show with PIE, which is my acronym for intentional living, which is plan, implement, evaluate. And I want you to plan ahead for the holidays. And then I want you to get ahead. The implement part would be getting ahead for the holidays, like getting this done, getting your 6 meals into the freezer done ahead of time. It could be getting your photograph taken before November, right? For if you're doing a family Christmas card, whether it's digital or physical card. There's just something about seeing these family Christmas cards that's just delightful. I just love seeing other people's Christmas cards, especially for these kids, they grow up so fast. Okay, anyways, enough about that. So plan, implement, evaluate. Okay, how did it go? You love how this works with My Freeze Easy. You see how easy it is. You wanna do more of it. I'll tell you more about that later. So that's the idea. Plan to get ahead for the holidays. Actually start getting ahead for the holidays, and I suggest starting with your meals, getting a couple of dinners ready to go so you have an easy dinner option. My favorite days to use these meals is actually the week of Thanksgiving, and then maybe one the week after Thanksgiving week. So I can, on Tuesday when I'm making 3 or 4 pies, more on that later, we're gonna do that live this year, then I have dinner cooking in the slow cooker while I make all the pies. I'm making the pie mess in the kitchen while dinner is making essentially 0 mess at all. So anyways, that's the idea. Just to give an example of a practical way that I use this and deck the freezer and getting my meals made ahead and creating that time margin now so that I have options in the future. So if you want to make 6 freezer to slow cooker meals ahead of the holidays, you can type the word deck, just like you see there, deck the freezer, or D-E-C-K, I know it's mirrored, I'm sorry, into the comments. Astrid, I got you, girl. I'll send you a note about this and more information and how you can get going on this year. We have so many people already participating. Linda, I got you. So many people. I think we're into the thousands already, which is amazing. So we have this, we will actually be live cooking in the kitchen the week of November 1st, but you can get started anytime you want. I started sharing about this a little bit earlier this year because I wanted to give you lots of time to get this downloaded, printed out on the calendar. If you want to get your party pack ordered, I will mail this printout and the stickers and the bag holders to you. So you can, if you're listening on the podcast player, you can click on the link in the show notes or myfreezeeasy.com/deck. Is where you could find information about that, but you should see a link in your show notes. All right, my friends, that's it. Creating time margin. The final question for you. What can you do now to set yourself up for success in the future? Apart from this meal plan, this Deck the Freezer meal plan, which I highly recommend, what else can you do now to get yourself one step ahead of the holiday frenzy so you can actually enjoy your time through the holidays instead of frantically trying to go from one task to the next, along with all the other regular life tasks that we have to handle and manage on the daily. All right, my friends, that is all for this episode of the Erin Chase Show. Again, a programming note, if you missed it earlier, we will be starting a new format and new version in November. So I will see you, I believe it's November 2nd, here live, all new. It's going to be super cool. I can't wait to share that with you. I'll probably release a sneak peek right before that. But until then, have a fabulous rest of your day. Have a fabulous rest of your week. And I will see you Friday for the Dinner Made Easy show. And then again, starting in November with the new format of the Erin Chase Show. All right, my friends, see you soon.